I think mainly we were hoping to achieve awareness and bring students in that are able-bodied and don't have any idea what it's like to go to a buffet or to even get a drink with a disability. So we're experiencing, now we're walking around to the tables and we're seeing students do things that they probably didn't realize they could do with the blacked out goggles on or with the earplugs in. So it's been really amazing just to see students experiencing something totally different they wouldn't get a chance to do normally if we didn't put this on.
It is a humbling experience, especially when you see people from below, and so everybody is higher than you. But in relationship to the dinner and the people that was in the table, it was a beautiful experience, and everybody had something to share, and so it was very interesting.
There's so many moments in an event like this where it's kind of an aha moment for the student, where they just see, oh wow, I never really knew this was like this, and I never really knew what people had to experience. And until you're actually in that situation, I mean, it's one thing we can do in classes, we can talk to the students a lot about people with disabilities and their experiences, but then when they're actually experiencing it for themselves, it's completely different.
It was a new experience. At first I was scared, I felt uncomfortable, and I learned how difficult it is for someone who's blind, and I had to relearn where things are, had to have someone show me first, then had to have someone guide me, and I don't know, it takes a lot of strength to be blind, I learned that.
I asked one of the gentlemen that was using a wheelchair to go try to use the restroom. And he came back and he said, wow. I had to go out, and I took a picture of him trying to get in the door of the restroom. And I said, my students in wheelchairs do this every day. And he said he didn't realize how difficult it was.
As a moderator, I like having discussion, generating discussion, and telling, because I had one girl who was legally blind, and I was telling her my experience, and I was asking how she felt and what she thought of it. And I thought it was really interesting and educational for the general public to know about disabilities and to know how it affects them on a day-to-day basis and what kind of challenges they deal with.
I think basically it was interesting to see people try to get food on the buffet line when they can't see, because they were asking people, what is this? What does it look like? Would I like it? They were asking for descriptions, and it was difficult going to a buffet, not knowing exactly what it was, not being able to see, and having someone else put it on your plate, not knowing if you're going to enjoy it.
I guess people that are blind, when I was talking to them, it was hard for me to relate to them because I was using nodding motions, I was using my fingers, and I had to be reminded that, oh, they can't see.
A couple of professors were here tonight, and they both said that they think all their students should be coming to an event like this, and also there are some public school teachers that were here that also take classes at FAU, and they said every teacher should have to go to an event like this and experience this.
I was hard of hearing, and it's like the worst feeling in the world, and you can't hear what anybody else is saying to you, and it kind of makes you feel like you don't want to engage in conversation. I didn't even want to talk.
I thought it was cute that a couple of people assumed several disabilities. And they wanted to see what it was like to be deaf and blind, or blind and in a wheelchair.
To me, I wanted to be a nurse, so it felt like I was in the real world to help them. It was hard because my friend, she was hard of hearing, and then my other friend, she was visually impaired, and she's hard of hearing. And the other one was one of her arm wasn't good. So it was like, I'll have my tray full with my food and her food, and then she wants some dessert and drinks. It was really hard. And then to see them, I have to repeat everything I say. And then like for her, I had to try to guide her. It's like, it was where it makes me feel like what everybody had to go through with everyday life. And it makes you want to feel appreciative of your eyes, your ears, your hand.
And there was a student who came up to me and said that he really wanted to experience being in a wheelchair, but because his mother's in a wheelchair and you want to know what it was like for her.
I was wearing the earplugs. Like, it was just, I just couldn't hear anything. It was muffled, and I just felt like lonely, kind of.
Oh, it was definitely not what I expected. I mean, especially with those in the wheelchair. I think we had one person who was deaf and blind, but amazingly she ate her entire dinner, so I was surprised.
I was really happy at the end when people were willing to share in the open mic session about what it meant and how it felt for them. When we had planned that into the kind of program to be part of the program, I wasn't sure if people would feel comfortable sharing that, and so I was pleasantly surprised that they were eager to share that.
It was a good event. I've got to meet a lot of interesting people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. So it was just very educational and very interesting to see people have disabilities for a couple of hours, because they, you know, got different experiences, and it shows that we should be grateful with what we have and the friends and the people that are in our lives. So that's one thing I think everybody got from the experience, which is really good.
Well, I think everyone had a wonderful experience just coming out and trying a disability, and a lot of the students said that you know, now they won't take for granted what they do have and what they can do, and you know, just having the experience of being able to move around, trying to navigate the buffet line and navigating around the room, you know, that allowed them to really see what it's like even for a short period of time, and I think that's something that they'll take away from this experience.